So, all right. Justin, this one is all about you, man. Trev Alberts to Texas A&M from Nebraska. I feel like I can intro this one, but obviously you're going to be able to talk about this much better. So you want to just kind of give us a little bit of oversight what's going on here and then kind of share your thoughts on the entire situation?
Yeah, so essentially what happened is Trev Alberts decided up in the night one night to again. Oh no! We'll put a USC guy up there. I don't know why.
And Justin decided to up in the night just leave.
I feel like the irony of that right there. See ya. I'm out, guys. No, but literally left in the night, and the next morning, Husker fans were shocked. Everybody was just kind of trying to figure out what's going on. But earlier in the day, it was reported that they were finalizing a deal, but then there was a big gap, and then there was reports out of Nebraska that there were things turning behind the scenes, and that potentially this was Trev Alberts' way of getting leverage on the Board of Regents. Because of a disagreement that they may have been having within, certain parts of the department and certain decisions. So ultimately, I don't think the Board of Regents blinked and he decided to leave. People were talking about it was money. They're making him a top 2 paid SEC athletic director, top 10 in the country. He already was that. He was already a top 10 paid athletic director in the country. Got an $800,000 raise 8 months ago to $1.7 million. He was second in the Big Ten in terms of athletic director pay. It was not money. It was something to do with in the Board of Regents that has been, all but confirmed essentially. My take on it was this. I don't agree with the way he did it. I have not said anything bad about him on Twitter or anything like that. And the Nebraska fan base was very much weaponized against him. And I get it, right? I get it because of the way he went about it was completely wrong. There was no transparency, none of that. And he should have exposed specifically who the issue was, what the issue was on his way out the door so we can fix it. The only thing that I disagreed with the fan base's reaction is the fact that the fan base was rightfully upset, but all of the attention was to criticize Trev. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but let's use this energy. He's gone. We can hate him forever. Let's use this energy to go after the Board of Regents because there's a reason our president left and we have an interim president still. There's a reason Trev Alberts left and we have an interim athletic director. Something isn't right. And there's some kind of miscommunication in there. And the fan base's attention needs to be take this opportunity while we have everybody's attention and emotion. Let's weaponize it towards fixing the issue. So that way, when we get a new athletic director, a new president, it's the right people in place and they're going to be here. Trev Alberts has his name inside the stadium and left us overnight without, any indication and then closed it out with an email that was posted to Twitter. That was his farewell, and then the tone deaf tweets about Nebraska playing Texas A&M and there's a lot of different ways he could have went about it, but and fans were coming after me for this, but I'm like, listen, those two things aren't mutually exclusive. Let's just attack who we need to attack for the betterment of the athletic department. Criticizing Trev does not help Nebraska. We need to do what we need to do to help Nebraska. And that's my take on it.
Yeah, we have Mike here. He says, Trev did Nebraska wrong. This will make us stronger. He hopes. So, yeah. When I look at it, like, I don't understand all of it to the extent that you do, Justin. That was good information. I appreciate you sharing that. But on the other level, like anytime I see somebody as beloved, former player, like Trev Alberts to leave their alma mater, leave where they gain so much of their fame and notoriety and things like that. Obviously he could have, I'm not giving only Nebraska that credit. Like he could have gained that somewhere else too, I'm sure. But still, like Nebraska gave that to him through his stardom at Nebraska and then, having his NFL career as well and those things. But just to leave like that, and we're going to talk about another guy who left here in a minute, but it pains the fans. And those are the ones that really lose out, because, the Regents might have, or the Regents did do him dirty. And obviously there's issues there. Like you said, it's not just Trev Alberts, but the president as well. But you're exactly right. If there is an issue with the regents, that's what has to be addressed more than anything else, because you don't just lose alumni players with names in the stadium overnight because they make more money somewhere else. It doesn't happen like that. Zach, your thoughts?
Well, I was just going to say, I appreciate what you were like everything you were saying, Justin. I think the articles I've read, and I'm not nearly as linked in as you are, but Sports Business Journal, it mentioned that Trev Alberts had recently expressed frustration that Regents had not hired a president to replace Ted Carter.
Yep.
And Ted Carter was named Ohio State's president last August.
Yep.
8 months, I think. Yeah. So and even it seemed like the governor, Jim Pillen, said that Albert's decision, it was disappointing, but that he implored the university's board of regents Thursday to act quickly.
Yeah.
So I think it's just really helpful, because I think while there's some irony that Albert said leadership is critical and this is how he left, there's also a reality that, the leadership up top was, it seems like there is an issue there. And as someone, we all have probably worked for different organizations and stuff. If the leadership above you is not doing their jobs, it makes it really hard for you to do your job.
And if you don't even know who your manager is, let's say, you want to know who your manager is going to be at the end of the day for your career, because that's your developer. That's that's lead by example guy,
Yeah.
And just to add a little extra to this too, when it happened, he did mention that in an interview about that. And so when it actually happened, we went immediately live on the Voice of College Football channel. And I was immediately telling people, this is a Board of Regents issue. This isn't a money issue. And it should have been obvious to everybody. But I don't think the thing is, Trev left the athletic department way better than he found it. Right. So we do have to acknowledge that what he did was good here. But at the same time, we can hate him, but acknowledge what he did was good. The athletic department is still going the right direction. No coaches have left. Matt Rule's committed. The governor reached out to Matt Rule directly, to talk to him about it. Nebraska's still going the right direction. And I don't think this is going to stop a thing. The interim athletic director has been at Nebraska since 1983. So, they're in good hands right now. So, I don't think it'll impact us too negatively, to answer that question.
I was going to read the quote from Matt Rule really fast. It says, "I'm here and I'm all in, and Julie's all in," referring to his wife. I loved Ted Carter and I loved Trev, and I came close. Sorry. And I came because of them, but I came to be at the University of Nebraska, and I've loved the people I've met, and we're not going anywhere unless you guys kick me out. So obviously
his wife has a business there, and his son's enrolled in school. They're building there, and they are there. He said that from the start. And that's why even on that live stream, I was like, no matter what, Matt Rule's not going. He's said it in so many interviews that the reason he's there is because of the people, the way it operates, the ethos of Nebraska. And he hasn't deviated from that. I don't know why anybody thought he was going to leave, but people reached out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, overall, you look at Nebraska losing an AD to the SEC, and that's obviously not something, if these two conferences are equal, that's not something you want to see happen. So Zach, in your opinion, for the Big Ten, obviously we talked about Nebraska, we think everything's okay there, but at the end of the day, do you think this is an issue, Zach, for the Big Ten to be losing an athletic director from one of its biggest universities to one of the biggest universities in Texas, or in Texas A&M in the SEC? Or are you just kind of this is a isolated incident? It's not something to be concerned about.
Well, I was going to say there's an irony that Texas A&M is replacing an AD that went to a Big Ten school. So
true.
And granted, I think Ohio State right now might be a top 3 athletic department in the country. So, but I think to that point, I think what it does is it exposes bigger problems, but I don't think it's an issue for the Big Ten. And I think if it fixes the problems up top for Nebraska, honestly, it actually could end up being the best thing that could happen. because just, there's the emotional whiplash, which I think JR, you've mentioned, and I think Justin, you've been talking about. Like, if it sucks for the fans because, it's storied, but remember, storied sons like that's not always the fix. Now, Trev did a lot to make things better.
Frost.
Right. Scott Frost. I don't know how many episodes I did on Big Ten football talk about how he should be fired. I did a lot of episodes about how he should be fired. But just because there's emotional whiplash does not mean that this is going to be a long-term blow.
Right.
So we don't know. Like, they could really botch the hire. But honestly, I think if Matt Rule truly is there to stay, like, he is the one, unless if an athletic director just blocks him from what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Like, he is the guy that's going to build the foundation, particularly as a football school.
Yeah.
And if he's all in, I still like where Nebraska's going. I think Dick Stillwagon was talking about the 3-3-4-5 win.
Dick Stillwagon doesn't understand what saying an athletic department is moving in the right direction means. He apparently thinks athletic department means football. So Dick's opinion is about as fitting as his name. Anyway.
All that to say, like, I think we're seeing both as a football program and as a conference. Like, I think Nebraska's future is still bright. I just emotionally it's pretty rough. But I'm not too concerned about the overall trajectory.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree.
Listen to the Big Ten Huddle. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate that. If this was your first time listening, we are the Big Ten Huddle. We cover all things Big Ten football and basketball. We have a long episode every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, all at 9 o'clock. So come in, check us out, get in the chat, let us know what you're thinking. We would love to have you join us and learn more about the Big Ten.